You're watching Good Business San Diego, sponsored by KUSI Asset Management. Welcome back. The mission of TERI Campus of Life is to change the way the world sees, helps, and empowers individuals with special needs. Since 1980, TERI has been working to improve the quality of life for children and adults with developmental and learning disabilities. Danielle Aguas is the Director of Philanthropy at TERI Campus of Life, and she joins us today so we can learn more about how it continues to serve people with special needs and what it is that they need. And some of that comes in the way of funding. We'll talk about that a little bit too. So Danielle, thanks for coming in today. First of all, just a little bit of the history of TERI and the evolution of the campus.
Yeah, so 45 years ago, TERI was founded by Cheryl Kilmer and a few others during a life-altering experience in a hospital ward internship that she had, where she saw the unfortunate conditions of people with special needs that were just kind of housed there, right, as opposed to being, filled with lots of activities and social skills.
No interaction,
exactly.
Right?
And that just set her off on a new trajectory in life.
Okay.
And that's propelled her to want to start TERI.
So let's talk about the Campus of Life and what that's evolving to be.
Yeah. So the vision of the TERI Campus of Life is really to have a more fully integrated, inclusive community where people can thrive side by side, people of all abilities. Mm-hmm. And the campus right now is 50% of the way built. And we've got arts and enrichment, therapeutic equestrian. We have an awesome Common Grounds cafe. We also have, soon to come, a whole nother 50% of the campus to be built. Aquatic center will be coming, a gym.
Wow.
So really, think about the lifespan and the life quality of a person.
Yes.
It's trying to tap into all of that, but being open to the rest of the community as well.
Tell us a little bit about the people that you are serving, how many of them, demographics, all age ranges.
Yeah.
Give us some ideas to who's coming to the campus.
So children, adults, and seniors. So starting with children as young as, probably a baby, when they're just discovering, a family might be discovering that they might need a diagnosis, or they just received diagnosis and they're trying to navigate, what do I do next? Yeah. To even seniors who are close to the end of life. We support them through that process as well. So really there's something for everybody. And it's really trying to take into account each individual person and their individual needs, mm-hmm, and really bring out their special gifts and celebrate those, right, and nurture those. Yeah.
My understanding is that in California, the diagnoses of special needs are going up.
Yes.
How are you able to keep up with the demand that's growing?
And that's what you just said is unfortunate, because services are shrinking. That's a big reason why we wanted to open the campus, because we want to have more access points for more people, but we also want to be a beacon of hope and a model for the rest of the world. So a training hub where we can train other agencies that are trying to do this work wherever they find themselves, but also to provide additional services. Right now, we haven't traditionally served people with higher cognitive abilities that are really seeking higher education or want to work. 85% of them are unemployed or underemployed in the autistic community, and they just want to add value. So we'll be able to expand those services. We're doing that now, but with the campus, we'll be able to do more.
And growing, and you're only 50% of the way there, and you say the best way to understand, get a full idea of the scope of what's happening is to visit.
Yes, we especially encourage everyone to come visit, but especially if you're a caretaker or someone with special needs, come and experience it for yourself, because it's special.
Thanks, Danielle. Really appreciate it. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
More information online at teriinc.org. That's it for Good Business San Diego. Contact